Hey, how's it going, everyone? Freddie again. We're back. I have the MPC Renaissance in front of me. The MPC Renaissance, if you're not familiar, is just a controller to go along with the MPC software. Um, Most of the beats that I make on MPC has been on the MPC Live. So what I'll do is I'll basically just sit on the couch and just make beats on the live and then kind of transfer it over to software. Occasionally, mostly I've been using the MPC Live just as a standalone, just kind of whatever I need to record, I just record directly into it and then whatever. And then what I'll do is I'll just save the sequence like on an external hard drive or like a thumbnail drive, and then I can open it up on the MPC software on the computer. Since then, or a few videos past, I've upgraded it to the MPC software 2.3, which kind of gave it like not a complete overhaul, but it added a few new features as well as kind of changed a few things. I really like the 2.3 software on the MPC Live because the effects has a better aesthetic. It's kind of like it mirrors what was being shown on the MPC software. As well as now you can load plugins directly on the MPC Live, which is kind of cool. They're coming out with more plugins. I know it's kind of like just like 3 or 4 right now, but it gives a little bit of some cool variation to the MPC Live. Like if you can load external kind of plugins on the MPC Live on as a standalone, that would be dope. If they can kind of incorporate something like that, or just come out with like better synths or better plugins, kind of third-party plugins, or whatever for the MPC software, that'd be dope. But yeah, I'm just gonna go over a few beats. Before we do start, I know like Christmas is only like a few days away, but hopefully you can kind of help someone out there who doesn't or is less fortunate than you. I feel like every Christmas I'm like not deserving of anything. That's not me just fishing for compliments. I could, like when my fiance asks me what I want for Christmas, and I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I just don't deserve anything. And there's a lot of people out there who kind of work their asses off and also just don't have the money or the resources to provide for the family, so you have to kind of keep those people in mind, as well as, there's a lot of people that lost a lot of things especially towards the end of this year in California. I mean, we had those 2 huge fires. One was just like a few minutes north of us, in the valley here in LA. A lot of people like lost their houses, and when we were up in Napa, when me and my fiance were up in Napa, the Paradise Fire campfire started, or just started, so the air quality was really bad when we went up there. But pretty much Paradise, California, just the town was leveled, and a lot of people just lost their homes. I mean, some people can get back their homes through insurance and stuff, but there's a lot of people out there who can't get anything back, and people did die in those fires, especially like the older people who just didn't have the resources or the energy to escape with their lives. So you have to kind of keep that in mind. So there's a lot of people out there that kind of need help this holiday season, homeless people, as well as just people just struggling. So yeah, sorry to kind of put that in there, but it's just kind of keep that in mind. So when you're out, complaining about the small things in life, just remember there's people out there that kind of like have it worse than you. Not to say that you can't do anything about that, be a decent human being and help whenever you can. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into these beats. This first one I'll just play out and then we'll just talk about it. So here are the sample chops. Of course, you know what that is. It's a pretty famous sample. And then this is, let me see if I can just solo stuff here. Here are the drums. So what I'll do for when I kind of build drums in the MPC is I'll kind of just start with a snare and just kind of snap that to the grid, meaning just quantize it, and then just build everything around it. And sometimes I'll snap the kick to the grid as well, like quantize the kick, and then I'll use the swing method basically, so it kind of shifts like things over a little bit, so it's a little bit more not so robotic, I guess. That's the kick. This is, I just played the guitar directly into the MPC and just added effects like a delay, a reverb, and I kind of EQ'd it a little bit. I usually use the high pass filter and just kind of adjust the parameters within that. And then same with this, the bass line, played it directly into the MPC Live off the keyboard and just kind of maybe EQ'd it a little bit or added some small stuff to it. I think that's it. And then like a percussion loop or a hi-hat loop. Oops. And it's the hi-hat. Yeah. And I don't know what this is. It says unused, so it's nothing. So maybe we can, let me go into track mutes here. Let's do this. I think this is one. I think these. Okay. Maybe I have this wrong. Okay, I don't know what's happening here. Let's see here. Oh, I might have the bass line on like the drum track as well. So we'll just play it out with the drum or the bass line. Sometimes I just like try to work as fast as I can on the MPC that I just kind of, it's not very organized at all. I just kind of load a bunch of stuff onto like the same program and everything. Okay, so let's go ahead. This is the sample chops. So it's a pretty like simple chop. And then the guitar is this. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, that's pretty much it for that one. I mean, that was a pretty simple beat. I'll go ahead and just load the next one here. I believe it is this. Okay. So when I go on Instagram to kind of look at music posts, I like looking at piano players, and I like looking at, you know, I don't necessarily follow like a bunch of like accounts, but I just kind of out of the whim just come across like artists or like musicians, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty dope. But I came across this dude, Elijah Fox. I think he's based out of New York, but he's a pianist. But he comes out with like these really soulful kind of soulful like compositions and stuff like that. But I hit him up because I saw on one of his posts that he was selling a sample pack, and I asked him if he could sell me that sample pack. And these next two beats are from using sounds from that sample pack, meaning just the piano parts. So I'll go ahead and play it, and then we'll talk about it. This is the first beat. Oh, let me kind of do this differently here. Let me just solo some stuff real quick. I believe it is this. Okay. Let me mute this. So I'll play out the sample first. I think it's on here. These are all. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I'll play it again. And I just basically kind of just loop that. And then I'll just go ahead and play the beat after that. I'll mute my mic. Yeah. Yeah, once again, that was Elijah Fox on the piano, and then I just kind of built everything around that. Let's go ahead and go to the first part. The first part, I believe, is drums. So it was a drum loop, basically, and then I just kind of chopped it using that transient chop. Yeah. And I think I just layered stuff on top of it as far as the, this is like a kind of like a percussion loop. And another like kind of percussion loop. And then I layered another snare on top of the existing one. So it's like two snares stacked. But the layered snare is like, it has more like reverb. So, and then you kind of, you add like some effects to that stacked snare, like reverb or delay. But then you bring down the gain a little bit. So it's not so the snares aren't really fighting each other. They're more like, you know, they kind of mesh well together. Okay, so basically it's these as far as the drums go. And I'll bring in the piano right now. Yeah, so the piano's this, of course. And then what I did is I duplicated that same sample, and this is like the same piano loop, but then with a low pass filter on it. So I kind of take off like some of the mid and high end, or mid and high range of that sample. So here's the original, and here's the other one. And these two aren't stacked on top of each other. They're playing at separate times of the song. And then I just played this synth on my keyboard, and then I just recorded it directly into the MPC. So these two together, so the synth plays along with the filtered sample. And then the bass line is, I just played the bass line directly in from keyboard into the MPC. And then all three of those together sound like this. And everything together sounds like this, without the lead sample. Oh, that filtered sample. And here's that lead sample, the original sample. I don't like to play the synth and the original, the lead sample together, because I feel like they would be fighting together. So that's why I do that filtered sample. That way you can still have the general melody of the sample, but it won't be fighting with like a lead instrument as much. I mean, you can take the sample out of it and just bring in like the bass and the synth. It would sound like this, but you're still kind of missing like that melodical element, you know, like this. I feel like there's like some dead space. I mean, this would be good, like this part with just the synth and the bass would be good for like later in the song, like a bridge, or, you know, just kind of like a small section, or maybe even just like an outro. But that's why I have this filtered sample on here, so you kind of don't lose that like that rhythm, that melodic rhythm that's still happening, or that space. That's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. A lot of these, like I said, when I make beats on the MPC or like I said in a previous video, it's like they're like 50 to 75% done. They're not like completely finished. So yeah, let's go ahead and load this last one here. Hopefully this is cool. Let's just play it out. Yeah, I mean, if you already followed me on Instagram, you already heard that one. Yeah, so this was like another sample from Elijah Fox. Let me see if I remember where everything is here. Everything's kind of like on one program for this one. So usually when I load stuff into the MPC, I just load a bunch of sounds. Like I'll load a bunch of pianos and just kind of like pick and choose which one I want to use, but I'll just load them just so I can have like some kind of a few choices to work with. Okay, so here is the sample that I'm just using as a loop. I think I just like might have pitched it down a semi-octave or a semitone. Yeah. And then what I did was I duplicated the same sample, and then I pitched it up a full octave and warped the sample. So it's still, warping it still like conforms to like the BPM. So like when you pitch it up, it doesn't like lose like the speed of the sample. It warps it to whatever BPM you have it, whatever global BPM you're using. So here it is. I added some effects, like a delay. I added like a tape delay to this, reverb, and some other stuff, like a high pass filter. But the tape delay has this kind of cool effect. And then the drums are this, I believe. Whoops. Here's the snare. This is the kick. Here's one of the hi-hats that I just kind of added reverb to. And another hi-hat. And another hi-hat. And this is, I don't know what that is. Some of this stuff might have came in later. Here's like a shaker kind of percussion thing. And then a percussion loop. And that's the bass line. So the bass line, well, let me just talk about the drums first, but here is the drums. A along with that pitched up sample. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So the bass line, I believe, is this. So the bass line I played directly, like I usually do, played the keyboard directly into the MPC. But I believe for this one, the bass kind of sounded weird when I was playing directly into. Maybe I don't have this one. Hold on. Sorry, I'm like trying to think how I did this. I think I have to go to the mixer section. No, it's right here. It's right here where I can't see it. Okay, never mind. But the bass, I basically played it and it's really like just rough. There's no effects on it. And then I added like this kind of small reverb to it, and it kind of opened it up the way I wanted it to. So that's what you hear right now. And then the rest of this is me playing the guitar. Is it this one? Maybe it's this one. Or not. It's this one. This is me playing the guitar directly into the MPC. I played it a few times. This is the same sample, just pitched up a full octave. And it's warped. So you kind of have that digital distortion a little bit. And then this is just like a simple like one shot kind of played on the guitar. This is the original of it. And then this is it pitched a full octave up. And I can kind of just play these, like just kind of trigger those in certain parts of the loop, basically. Let's listen to it with the guitar and everything. Oops. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Pretty, like, these three beats have been pretty smooth. Usually when I work with piano samples or like guitar samples, it'll turn out to be kind of like a smooth kind of beat. Usually when I work with like vocal samples, like old soul records, it'll be kind of like a rugged kind of beat. But like usually piano samples, I like working with kind of are making more soulful kind of stuff, and that's what you kind of hear in this one. that's pretty much it. Whoops. But yeah, those are 3 beats using kind of like piano samples. The last 2 were from a very talented pianist out of, I believe, New York, named Elijah Fox. You can follow him on Instagram, and I believe he's coming out with kind of like more sample packs for the new year, so definitely check him out. Yeah, and these are just kind of 3 beats that I made using the MPC Live, but then we're just kind of using the MPC Renaissance just to kind of change things up. And yeah, like I said, Christmas is upon us, so hopefully you're giving more than receiving this year. Not to kind of say that getting things is always nice, but hopefully you're deserving of it, because there's a lot of just selfish people out there. Hopefully you're kind of giving out more than what you're getting. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know. MPC beats again. For the next one, for the next video, I'm not too sure when I'm going to be able to do it. It's going to be sometime after Christmas though. I kind of want to sit down with the Digitech Electron again, and there's a few new things that I've been trying out on it. I didn't want to record it yet, but I kind of want to make a solidified video, or solidified kind of not tutorial, but you know, a presentation for you, and just so I can show you kind of how to sample chop on it, as well as kind of utilize the 8 pads as well as more, if you're kind of stuck on that, if you already have one. I'm pretty sure if you already have one, you already know what to do. But yeah, I'm still kind of learning that thing. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. I don't know, maybe I'll see you next year, but probably not. You know, I'll probably do another video before the end of the year. All right, peace.